Welcome to the Let's Start a Band podcast. This is a music-based podcast series that is meant to discuss the history and beginnings of different bands across multiple genres. We're here to have fun and learn more about what it takes to become a band. This podcast won't end until I start my own band, and I'm your host, Devontae, and the word band is on my mind. So as you should all know, our last episode was about the group Boyz II Men, and today is a recap episode. I am here with my friend Andre Myrie, who is a self-proclaimed fan of the group, and we're just going to be here debriefing and giving our thoughts and opinions on the group Boyz II Men. So Andre, how are you today?
Doing good.
That's good. Now, I know the setup may be a little wonky, but we we can still make it work,
For sure.
So I guess I'll start with my first question for you. What is your earliest memory of Boyz II Men? Like, how did you learn about this group?
Yeah, so I got into 90s music kind of in high school. And I was just trying to listen to music that really stood out to my heart, and Boyz II Men stood out first. Obviously, the title speaks, Boyz II Men, that really has a lot more of a message than any of the music that they make, just hearing the title alone of the band. But when you listen to them, you get that harmony, that melody that you listen to and you look for in music. And immediately when I was listening to Boyz II Men, End of the Road, Water Runs Dry, I'll Make Love to You, you name it, all these songs, you can just feel them, and that stood out to me right away in high school.
And it's good that you mentioned that, that you really feel it. That's something that kind of was hammered home in the last episode when talking about it. With them coming from an a cappella background, their harmonies is what they're most acclaimed for, if anything. Because you can put a group together, but having that chemistry to sing fluently and have it actually touch people is very important. Because like they say, you can't touch music, but music can touch you.
Right.
And that's very big with this group. So I'm glad that's a very valid point that you made. And but you also mentioned a few of their songs actually, and I would like to know, for you, what's your favorite Boyz II Men song?
Man, that's a tough one. That's a really good question. It's tough. I could say a song from Mama. Between that and End of the Road, I know a lot of people, like my friends, had that End of the Road for their graduation. As they walked across the stage, that song was being played. So probably End of the Road is going to be the one.
Okay. I'm fond of that song as well, because especially with the I don't know, it gives like a nostalgic feeling almost.
Right.
Just some, I don't know, you just feel almost comfortable listening to it, because it's like you feel like you're going through a change, even though it's not you in the song.
They sing so passionately that you feel like whatever situation they're going through, you must be going through the same thing.
Right. It's crazy how that actually works though. I know my mom played them a lot. That's how I found out about them personally. Played them a lot, and of course her favorite song is the song. How's it go? It's Mama.
Oh yep. Mama, you're the queen.
Yeah, how does it? What's the name of that song? I always forget.
A song for Mama.
A song for Mama.
Yep. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Yeah.
I battle between that and when Tupac made a song for his mom. So I always love when they make songs for their moms, man.
Yeah, I can't remember a Mother's Day that I went without hearing that song, to be honest with you.
That's a good song.
Yeah, man. It's one of them things that kind of just stick with you,
Yeah, it's truly nostalgic, man. Truly nostalgic. You could just hear it in their voice, man. Like you said, music, it touches people in ways that we can't do by just us as humans.
Yeah, I'm a very firm believer in that, man. Music is powerful. Music is very powerful. But moving forward, for you, what sets Boyz II Men apart from other groups that you may listen to, or you know, what do you look for in this group? What does it make them stand out in your opinion?
I think I talked a little bit about it starting out in this episode. Just the melody. Usually when I sing music, especially when it comes to a band, I'm looking for something that, you can feel when you sing the music. Not that I'm just like, I could just recite the lyrics anytime. Something that when I get in the car, I'm going to turn on to play. I'm not waiting for the radio to play it. I actually want to put this song on. And like I said, we've been talking about it the whole time. You just feel it, man. Everybody doesn't have that I don't know what it's called, but they just have that feeling when you listen to their music where you can feel the music, man. And you get that with Boyz II Men, and that's why they've just been a hot topic for so many people for so many years.
Yeah, I completely agree. They got that soul about them.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think. There was, I was a part of a mentoring group back in high school. I was a mentee for about 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the group was called the Boyz II Men Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently they had no connections, but called Boyz II Men Foundation. And you kind of mentioned this at the very beginning of the episode, how the name alone stands out. And I'd like to get from your perspective, what about that name? Like, why does that name alone stand out to you?
That's a good question. First off, when I hear it, I think of mentorship with young men. As we're both young men, it's important to us, right? So it's very important. And when you hear titles like that, you may not like the music, but you're at least gonna listen just hearing that as a young man. You're gonna hear, what's Boyz II Men? Boyz II Men, okay. And I've heard of the foundation as well, or the organization Boyz II Men. So those kind of things stand out. I think it's just the words that they use, and who knew that they were going to use that name, Boyz II Men, and it would resonate to this day and have such an impact that it does,
Yeah, and I think that group just didn't know. Like, I don't know if they knew how influential they actually would end up being. Cause
right.
It's insane. I mentioned in the last episode that they were on the Billboard's top 100 13 weeks straight.
13 weeks. And they started off in, I think it's Philadelphia, as just high school kids, I believe. So
in an a cappella group.
To start off as kids, and then like literally they literally said it in there. They're just the name of their band, from Boyz II Men. They got to be a tight knit group.
Yeah, and it's crazy how that's just crazy how life works. To be honest with you, if they just didn't go to that high school, we probably wouldn't have this influence that we do. And it's just crazy how some things, life just works. Mm-hmm. For certain things to work out.
Mm-hmm.
And it really makes you appreciate it when it does.
Yeah.
I just appreciate the fact that I can even listen to artistry of their nature, and how it still stands different from what we hear today and even back then. So I feel like that's powerful in itself.
Yeah, honestly, you got a great point, man. It's like you said, music is powerful, music is power, and the things that we're able to do as humans with music is beautiful things that we can't replicate on an everyday basis.
Oh no, I wouldn't say so. But my final question for you. So, you kind of heard the story for the most part in the last episode. What about this? What stood out the most in their story? Like, what inspired you? I'd say, what inspired you about their story?
That's a great question. I would say the courage, just being so young, to have such courage, and truly just guts to chase their dream and know that they wanted to reach somewhere and reach so many people with just their voices. And who knew in the 90s, today, 2025, that their music still reigns strong on radios, on Spotify, Like who would know that? And they were just boys at the time.
Yeah, and it yeah, it gives me hope. I say, whenever you hear like these success stories, it gives a sense of hope, because you never know who you may know, what you may know, or what may happen that'll push you into being something far more than just any everyday person. I hate to say it like that, but quite honestly, that's their case. And I feel like as people, influence is one of the, I guess, most powerful things you can have, and I think music is a gateway to that, because it's something about you being vulnerable and putting that out there, willing to put that out there, knowing that everybody got to say who to say this, that, being willing to do this and put yourself out there is insane. And I don't know, I guess they say big risk, big reward, I guess, but man, yeah, that takes a lot. That takes a lot. Now, really quickly, I would like to say, with me wanting to start a band, like you said, that courage, I can take that away. I can definitely take that away. I can take that away from their whole everything. I know back, I don't know if you've seen it, the New Edition story. It was a three-part series.
Mm-hmm.
The New Edition story, I think it was the third episode, I would say. Third part?
Yeah.
You seen what was portrayed as a young Boyz II Men group come up to Michael Bivins right outside of his tour bus and sang for him. Literally just ran up and sang for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they just try to make their own way. They try to make their own way into this world, and I guess it's really what any of us can try to do.
Mm-hmm.
But just seeing like stuff like that, like they were literally just high school kids, and I believe now, Wanya, he's trying to have his sons start their own group.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
The group name slips me at the moment, but yes, I've seen like interviews with them, and they're trying to like start their own group, essentially like Boyz II Men. And and in one of their interviews, his son said that the father tried to make a very firm point of staying together, sticking together, and especially with them being related by blood. It's something that they strive to do anyway, and I guess that's really what him and his friends did, try to stick together through all of it, through all the madness that may come with such a fast life. So I don't know if you knew about that. I don't know if you knew about them at all, but
yeah. So I actually watched New Edition. Great show, by the way. And I do remember that specific part you were talking about, and I think he kind of asked them like, what's you guys' names, and they said Boyz II Men, and I definitely thought it caught him off guard, because he just was like, where is this group coming from, and who are they? Discovering this wonderful, talented group of men or boys at the time, and trying to get the best out of them and their talent. I know Michael definitely knew right then and there, like, we got stars on our hands.
Yeah, and it also the group, Wanya's group, band called One More.
One More.
Yeah, there's definitely ego thing going on there.
For sure.
100%. But yeah, yeah. But you make a good point as well, though. You make a very good point, and yeah,
I'm glad that he the dad definitely talked to his son about sticking together, because as we see now, I don't think that's the thing with groups anymore. Everybody is separating now. Separation seems to be the thing, because everybody has their own individual goals and aspirations, of finances, maybe making a little bit more money, or going on tour, or honestly egos is what tears them down, especially groups that we know and love today.
Yeah, and I kind of hope the best for this next generation of artists that want to follow in those footsteps a little bit more directly than, some others may have. It's almost not necessarily like, it's like an evolution almost, but staying true to the ground level, the blueprint.
Yeah.
So I say I definitely look forward to them. I can always, and I say I appreciate Boys to Men for their music contribution, because I really love music. I appreciate them for their contribution to the music world, and yeah, I think that
kind of covers it. Yeah,
that covers our recap of Boys to Men.
Yep.
Definitely check them out. I know they're a '90s group, but trust me.
Oh man, you won't be disappointed.
You will not. You will not. All right. And anything else you would like to say?
That's all for me, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate this, bro.
I appreciate you coming on. You don't even know, man. You don't even know. Well, that'll be a wrap on today's episode of Let's Start a Band podcast. I would like to thank you all for tuning in and learning something new with me. If you have any topic recommendations, just hit me up on Instagram at LSAB, LSAB _ podcast. See ya.